Can you spot the lie? Welcome to Fact or Fake. We've got 18 mind-blowing statements that will challenge everything you know about the Viking Age. Let's begin. Viking warriors commonly wore helmets adorned with large horns into battle. Fake. No archaeological evidence supports horned battle helmets for Vikings. Brief bonus fact: horned helmets were a 19th century invention for an opera costume. The Vikings were the first Europeans to reach North America, establishing a settlement centuries before Columbus. Fact! Leif Erikson's expedition landed in Vinland around 1000 AD. Brief bonus fact: the remains of a confirmed Norse settlement exist at Lance aux Meadows, Newfoundland. The Norse practiced a burial ritual where a king was sometimes interred inside a ship alongside grave goods. Fact: ship burials were reserved for elite individuals to travel to the afterlife. Brief bonus fact: the Oseberg and Gogstad ships are famous examples of this practice. The word Viking was primarily used to describe all Scandinavian people during the 9th and 10th centuries. Fake. The word Viking originally referred to the act of raiding or going on an overseas expedition. Brief bonus fact: most Scandinavians were farmers, traders, or craftsmen, not raiders. Viking men were known to have long, unkempt beards, often viewed as symbols of savagery. Fake. Artifacts show Vikings were meticulous about hygiene, using combs and grooming kits. Brief bonus fact: maintaining hair and beards was a sign of honor and cleanliness. A standardized currency was widely used across all Viking settlements and trading posts. Fake. Vikings primarily used hack silver, weighed pieces of cut silver, for trade. Brief bonus fact: coins from Islamic and English sources were often cut up and used as hack silver. Viking women had significant legal rights, including the ability to divorce their husbands and inherit property. Fact: Norse laws allowed women to initiate divorce and reclaim their dowries. Brief bonus fact: unmarried women were generally viewed as independent under the law. Viking sagas and histories were generally written down during the peak of the Viking Age, between 793 and 1066 AD. Fake. Most of the sagas were written down in Iceland centuries later, in the 13th and 14th centuries. Brief bonus fact: they serve as valuable, though often biased, historical sources. Runestones were erected throughout the Viking Age as simple grave markers for the deceased. Fake. Runestones were often monuments to memorialize deeds, legal agreements, or travel. Brief bonus fact: the inscriptions provide primary historical evidence about the people and their culture. The mythological belief system of the Vikings, known as Norse paganism, ceased to exist after their conversion to Christianity. Fake. Many Norse traditions and beliefs blended with or persisted alongside Christianity for centuries. Brief bonus fact: gods like Odin and Thor continued to be referenced in sagas and local folklore. Viking longships could sail across the open ocean, but were also capable of navigating shallow rivers. Fact: the shallow draft of the longships allowed for quick amphibious attacks and inland travel. Brief bonus fact: they used a single large sail and oars for propulsion. Viking warriors were commonly known as Berserkers because they fought in a trance-like fury. Fact: Berserkers were a specific type of warrior, possibly induced by drugs or psychological techniques. Brief bonus fact: their name might derive from wearing a bearskin shirt, Berserk. Viking funerals involved a ritual where the deceased's personal slave or thrall was sometimes sacrificed. Fact: accounts, notably by Arab traveler Ahmad ibn Fadlan, describe such ritual sacrifices for high-status individuals. Brief bonus fact: these rituals were not universal and varied by region and status. Viking society had a strict class structure, including slaves, known as thralls, who performed labor. Fact: thralls were an essential part of the Viking economy and could be acquired through capture or debt. Brief bonus fact: a thrall could sometimes buy their freedom. Viking sagas and histories were generally written down during the peak of the Viking Age, between 793 and 1066 AD. Fake. Most of the sagas were written down in Iceland centuries later in the 13th and 14th centuries. Brief bonus fact: they serve as valuable, though often biased, historical sources. Viking used a special lens called a sunstone to navigate on overcast days. Fact: legends suggest a sunstone was used to navigate, and archaeological and scientific evidence supports calcite crystals like Iceland spar for this purpose. Brief bonus fact: the crystal polarizes light, helping locate the sun's position. Vikings were also influential traders, establishing significant trade routes from the Baltic to Constantinople. Fact: they were crucial in the trade of furs, amber, silver, and slaves across continents. Brief bonus fact: they established trade networks reaching the Byzantine Empire and the Islamic caliphates. Viking warriors were significantly taller than the average European during the time period. Fake. Skeletal remains suggest their average height was comparable or only slightly taller than others in Europe. Brief bonus fact: they were generally well-nourished and muscular compared to some agricultural populations. How many did you get right? Comment your score below. Subscribe and hit the bell for more fact or fake challenges every day.